Okay, here we go again. The show at the weekend was lovely, and we all had a really nice time, although it was very busy and quite tiring. The hall was absolutely chocker full with hundreds of cakes and bakes and crafts and flowers, and just looked stunning. Lots of prizes were won, and lots of people did some beautiful things. I did enter two paintings because I was only allowed to enter two in that category, so I put two in, and I got a second with one of them, which was I was pleased with. The one that came first was definitely lovely, so I was happy to lose to something so nice. Um, I thought I would go back to showing you some of my sketchbooks because this is kind of what I like to do. And this one, as you can see, was from September 22, and I was endeavouring to do a sketch every single day, mostly to try and do with something from the day. So a sort of journal, but it didn't start off with having the whole day. I just started off with doing some sketches and paintings. I decided to incorporate my cup of coffee every day, or one of my cups of coffee, because that's one of my favourite things. So you'll see a bit of a theme going on. I'm not sure how long that went on, maybe for the whole thing, but I definitely started getting quite good at drawing mugs, I think. Mugs of different types of mugs of coffee. So here we go, September 2022. Um, First two pages. So a page a day I did decide on. The diving bell is outside a restaurant in Mid Yell, and it's quite nice. It's quite small, and you kind of wonder how long you would have liked to have been in there diving under the sea. But it just sits outside the restaurant, and we were sat waiting to pick somebody up outside school. So I decided to sketch that while I was there, and my cup of coffee. Not sure why on the next page I'm having a Christmas mug for my cup of coffee, but it's just a bit random. It's a nice big mug, and so it was a nice big cup of coffee. These were also, this is back to Yale Show. This was last year's Yale Show. Michael had some strange kind of heritage sort of tomatoes in the polytunnel, and he entered them into the show and got a second prize. They were sort of stripy and not really red, but quite nice, so I drew them. And we followed that with the winning children's cake, which was just phenomenal, and it looked like a box of vegetables. It actually was cake, and it was beautifully edible. And it's a young lass called Honey who lives in Cullivo who does amazing cakes. She's actually won again this year, and she did a cake that looked like a salmon on a tray, so a fish cake, which I thought was quite amusing. And she won again. That was my on the move cup of coffee because we were there from very, very early in the morning. So I took a coffee in a portable cup. Michael's marrow, I think he started, or courgettes actually. You know, he was growing courgettes, and they were growing all kinds of funny shapes, which I think I did right there. And another coffee. I'll stop saying coffee because I think it's just an everyday feature. You can get the gist of it. These are just little sketches of things that I saw in the day. It's kind of progresses as we go along to some pictures and things. I was kind of out of my comfort zone with just picking a topic and drawing it, but I decided it would be something I'd see today, and this is how it goes. This little macrame thing that I also made to put on there, obviously from one of my cups of coffee I was drawing, got covered in coffee, so it doesn't look very pretty. Some of the tops of the pages have also got a bit coffee stained, but there we go. It just shows I did actually have a cup of coffee in front of me most of the time when I was drawing them. I had a day in Lerwick where we have the red post boxes. They're not really a feature that you see too often, or not at all, I don't think. There's not a full-sized post box in Yell, so it was quite nice to see a nice big red post box. This is my kitten having a relax, and a little symbol to show that I do Wordle. My daughter and I do a Wordle competition, and we text each other every day to see who's won. So that was the feature of that one. This little drawing, completely again out of my comfort zone. I don't very often draw from real life or paint from real life. I like to either take a photograph or have a look at a picture somebody else has done. But this one I did do from the window of my shed, studio, come whatever you like to call it. And I quite liked it. It was quite nice to do, and I felt like I was happy to sketch from real life. Also, as you see, the Queen died that day, which was big news here and quite sad. So this is a little cupboard that Michael made for me out of driftwood, and it sits in my shed. It's really sweet, and it inside has a heart, a wooden heart that hangs also from a hook which he made. And another little sketch that I did from life. It's just the other window, and it's a little shed at the top of the hill, a little barn or whatever at the top of the hill. So I did that. My sewing machine, which is features in my shed, and a couple of cows also out of the window. I obviously decided I was getting the hang of this, looking at things from real life and doing sketches. There's cows that's sitting outside our house. And I decided to change the angle of my mug, I think. I don't do that very often. It seems like I always put the handle on the right-hand side, just ready to drink. But this time I must have changed it up and decided to try a different angle. This little dreadful sketch, but actually I quite like it, was Michael in his new digger. It's pretty awful, but it was again done from real life while he was outside my window digging a hole just because he had a new digger. And it was a perfect day to have a perfect day. We had some sunshine, so it was nice. The next one, I'm just turning again, sorry, I know this is annoying, is my stationery. Stationery is one of my favourite things. And I didn't do a mug of coffee this time. I did one of the mugs that I have scissors sitting in. I have lots of mugs in here that have things sitting in them. So that was a bit of a change from the coffee. Still a mug. And then we have plants also in my shed. Again, I'm doing a lot of stuff from real life here. All of this stuff does happen to be from real life, and it was way out of my comfort zone. And I feel like as we've gone along, even just these few days, things are getting better, and I'm relaxing a little bit into the idea of doing something from my day. So just shows how quickly a little bit of practice can make your sketches and your work and your art much, much better. The next one is our turkey. Michael calls him Mr. Matthews. If you're in England, you'll probably understand why. He's very, I would say, beautifully ugly. The red things around his neck are all dangly and horrible and wobbly, but they're beautifully coloured red when he's happy and he shows off all his feathers and things. So he wanders around our garden, and he has 3 lady turkeys who are not quite as stunning. It's a big decision as to whether you think he's ugly or lovely, but Michael seems to quite like him. I'm going to just do another couple, I think, because this is going to go on and everybody's going to switch off before it goes to the end. This is the house at the bottom of our hill, and we can see it from a window. Again, I did just do it from the top of the hill. I did it initially without a photo, and then I did take a photo and zoom in a bit more so I could do a few of the details with the fence, because I couldn't really make out where the fences stopped and started. But it was a nice day, and we had a lovely neighbour called Francis who has since passed away, but the house was from our kitchen window. Right, this I'm going to call the last one. A clock. Again, not something I would normally do, and I just was trying to push myself, and also the bus stop. We have some lots of bus stops in Yell, and they decided to decorate them with people's artwork, so they made sort of stickers that went around, and one of the bus stops did have something that I had put in. It was like lots of people were asked just to do things, and pictures and things, and I think this is the one. Mine was just a few words. Some people were asked to write poems and asked to do pictures, and I think I did a poem, and I think it was just, I think we can see at the top, I can't remember what I put. Peace, my safe place, peaceful and happy. I think we were asked to write poems about where we live, and that's what I did. Right, I'm going to leave it there for now, because 9 minutes seems quite a long time for you all to listen to me droning on and seeing, but I will continue with this sketchbook. If not next time, we might have a break and I might just have a chat, or I might continue with it next time. I hope you enjoy it. Please let me know in the comments if it is something you'd like to see more of. Otherwise, I might be wasting my time. Anyway, hope you all have a lovely day. Thanks very much. Bye.